Good evening, and welcome back to the Radical Faith channel. This evening on Culture Topics, we're going to be addressing how Budlight has lost some major business after promoting transgender ideas. It's not really that surprising, is it? A few months ago, Budlight decided to partner with Dylan Mulvaney, who says he is a transgender female. His picture was on the front of cans here. Is to 365 days of womanhood. Can't even say it. Following this, we saw a lot of backlash against Bud Light from the community who primarily consumes this product. And I know that sounds like a stereotype. A big one was when Kid Rock posted a video of on his Instagram where he is shown shooting a gun at cases of Bud Light beer with some pretty hateful words toward the brand after that. Many people rushed to support Kid Rock and then proceeded to throw away their Bud Light and remove all association with the brand. There also have been reports of threatening behavior towards employees and people selling the product. Is this true? I don't know. But I would guess all accusations are not false based on a lot of the videos circulating around social media and the internet. Now we see they're down 29% in sales since last year, which is a considerable amount of money for a company of that size. And they unfortunately had to let hundreds of people go from their jobs in late July of this year. Bud Light's response was that they did not sign an ongoing deal with Mulvaney, nor was the can meant to even be mass marketed. It was an influencer deal, and they just paid Mulvaney to show his can on the page. Money. Mulvaney later said that his involvement with the brand was horrible, and he endured more transphobia and bullying than ever. We're not afraid of you. Now Bud Light is selling some of its brands and other products and assets super cheap in order to even survive this whole ordeal. So let's break this down, because this is kind of framed in a way we have to choose a side, of course, like everything else in culture. First, do we agree with the promotion of transgenderism? No. This is clearly against God's design. There are many layers to that. And that is just too much to even discuss. That's like a 3-day video almost. Not really. But it's not okay to use your brand to promote transgenderism. Now let's go to the post made by Dylan, in which he says, here is to 365 days of womanhood. Womanhood. Right? There's also many layers to this we could get into, like what is a woman? Well, most people today don't seem to even know. But this book right here can tell you all you need to know, all you could possibly need about womanhood and its role in design. And neither Mulvaney nor most of the people in the world now is living to the biblical standard of womanhood, and that might not be popular, but it's important to realize. Dressing up as a woman and stating as a man, dressing up as a woman, stating you've been in womanhood for a year is not being a woman. So we need to look at the Bible and the history of women who have supported their families and entire civilizations by following the Bible to see what true womanhood actually is. Okay, so I'm sure everybody's all fired up now. So let's look at the backlash that then ensued after this post went viral. Kid Rock, I'm honestly not sure. He may be a Christian. His fruit doesn't tell of it. But I can tell you that shooting your Bud Light into oblivion in your backyard, wherever he was at, and then yelling F Bud Light is not the appropriate response, especially as a Christian. As I said before, what Bud Light did was not good, but this response isn't really helpful. I'm sure some people found it amusing and funny or silly, but it has a tone of violence and anger to it. We should stand up for what is right by presenting the truth of the Bible and abstaining from participating in purchasing from companies that continue to promote this distorted reality, because that's what it is. But we should not approach the situation with violence or threatening words. People proceeding to throw away the cans of Bud Light and post it for the world to see, is that a good approach? I don't know. I mean, all you're doing is taking a side and either making this side angry or getting applause from this side. So no one's really speaking the truth, besides that the company has already received your money from that purchase. If you bought it at all, just because you were throwing it away, you're not taking money from them. In that sense, you're taking money from not buying from them anymore. But anyway, now to the threatening behavior. I think both of sides of the aisle can distort this claim, saying it's happening all the time, or no, it's never happening, which is more accurate. Again, I don't know, but I will say that violence is never the answer. Threatening people is not okay. We bring truth and light as Christians to dark situations. We do not add fire to fire. We stand up for what is right, but not with violence or mean behavior, because that's just not from God. So, of course, all of this commotion has resulted in major losses for Bud Light in the sales department, 29% to be exact. And why is that? Well, Bud Light is playing the game that most corporations play when they align themselves with different influencers and hot topics so that their product is promoted, and therefore they get more sales and therefore more money. It is all about money and power. They do not care about Dylan Mulvaney or the transgender community. They do not care about conservatives in that community. They don't care about Christians. They don't care about anything. They only care about money and sales. You see this all the time if you really look. Big corporations will do whatever they think will bring in more money, and they do not have a set of true values from reality to hold firm to. Think about Chick-fil-A, for instance. Chick-fil-A is known as a Christian company. They traditionally have held to biblical standards for how they run their company, and have never seemed to mind the loss or even feel the loss of revenue for being closed on Sunday. And look how successful they are. They have identified their values and beliefs based on the truth of Christianity and have succeeded in their efforts, and they are not hypocritical, nor do they pretend to support someone just for sales. Now, I'm with you. I've seen recently how Chick-fil-A has gotten some heat, and they have hired a diversity inclusion VP. I'm not sure what that is about. I'm not sure what they're going to do with that position, but only time will tell if they will do the same as other companies and sacrifice all of their beliefs for money and power. So all of this to say that as long as companies are only focused on getting more money, there is no need in getting fired up over who they're supporting. They're doing what worldly people do. We honestly should look at who we are giving our money to as Christians in the first place, because even if they appear to hold biblical values, they might just be in it for the money. And that's more often than you even could imagine. Examine where you are giving and sowing your resources God has given you. And if it's going to a corporation that is only in it for themselves, see if there is a local alternative that you could switch to. And then when these controversies come up, never resort to violence or threatening someone's safety or well-being. That's just not biblical, guys. We should stand up for the truth and ensure that our resources are going back into the community in a healthy way that would honor God and not only make a CEO rich.